morning.
Good morning.
I thought I was ready.
We're doing things a little differently today. If you're watching on Instagram or X, you might know that because we played last Friday. We talked about how we had played with streaming to those platforms or to Instagram particularly, but we weren't configured for it. We didn't have a vertical layout.
But we do now.
We do now. So if you're on Instagram or
Twitter/X
or YouTube. Yeah, we're able to use our vertical format for Instagram and X, and on YouTube you can actually stream both a horizontal and a video. So if you rotate your phone, I don't know if it just moves from one stream to the other or not. No, don't worry about it.
I won't go check.
I just mean it's not all that important.
Well, I'm curious about it. Do you have the chat box on in case anybody
I should
chats for it to come up?
It should be on.
Because you wrote good morning, but
it doesn't appear to have shown up in the chat box.
Shown up because I want to make sure I'm over enough. You did that on purpose too.
You know me. Yeah, I don't. That's interesting.
Because it's not. That's okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Hide from horizontal, hide from vertical. Oh, I don't think we're hidden from any of them, are we?
Oh, look at that.
What?
So when I pulled us up on YouTube, we popped up. I clicked on it, and it is vertical.
Horizontal. That's not a vertical layout. Oh, I guess it is actually.
Yeah, because we've got the vertical to be the complete horizontal, which makes complete sense, right? So yeah, we're figuring it out.
I know, but
it's okay.
Like the buy me a coffee is gone.
Yeah, see, you can tell that that's...
Hold on.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Hi.
Good morning.
There's actually many people watching this morning, which is interesting. So
yeah, we're really, really grateful that you're joining us live this morning. We hope that...
Yeah, so we shouldn't be talking about all this inside baseball stuff. So never mind.
We're still trying to figure this out. And that inside baseball stuff, it's so funny you bring that up because I was talking about sports to Holly this morning on the drive-in.
You were talking about sports to Holly?
I was.
Okay.
That's what we do, though. That's part of our show.
Sports?
No.
No.
Whatever.
Tammy reads sports. That's the...
No, we were talking. I had asked her if they were going to the game tonight with the college group, the young adults. And they're not because she's just not really... Neither of them are really into sports. And we were talking of growing up, my dad watched the Redskins. Washington Redskins. I said it. Yes. Well, Trump is trying to really... Well, and that's the thing. The family wants them to have the Redskins name back. The family of the chief who was on the helmet, they want it back. So do we. Hail to the Commanders doesn't work.
See, that's a horizontal.
Hail to the Redskins. Just saying.
Hail victory.
Yeah. So we watched...
Commanders on the warpath.
We watched football all the time. But it's funny because coming here in cowboy territory, we didn't. We never really watched sports. We watched the Stars in '99 when they won the Stanley Cup, and then never really watched them again. And
that's not fair. We did sometimes.
Not very much. Very much.
Yeah.
But we were talking how sports are different, obviously. That some are a lot more constant motion, like basketball and ice hockey are, you have to play offense or defense on a flip. You trigger that moment as opposed to football and baseball.
Different people playing different.
For football, yes. Yeah. Baseball, you're the same people, but it's a different. You clear the field and you go out in a different mindset almost. Whereas in basketball and in hockey, and I'm sure in other games, but those are the two I can immediately think of. You are offense or defense at the flip of a switch. Mm-hmm. But it made it fascinating. It made it fun because the energy constantly going with possession, constantly turning over, made those games fun to watch.
Yeah, I grew up in a house where my dad liked golf.
Ugh. Your mom had a type.
So
Both your dad and your stepfather.
I enjoy playing golf. Although I think if God had wanted me to play golf, he wouldn't have made it so expensive. I'm just saying.
You've never played golf while we've been married.
It's because it's expensive.
Thank you. We did putt-putt every once in a while.
But, no, I enjoy playing golf. But
glow-in-the-dark putt-putt. That was fun.
Even playing golf, you can't. Just watching other people play is...
It's nap time.
It's mind-numbing. Oh, my gosh.
It's just nap time.
Sorry to all you professional golfers out there. I know you're having fun.
I remember getting in so much trouble when I worked at the Marriott, and I had taken a phone call from Mr. Henderson. He was the general manager of our hotel. And we had... it's now the Sheraton in Arlington, but it was the Marriott at the time next to the ballpark. And I took a call from Mr. Henderson. He was in a meeting. And I shared with him the message later that somebody was inviting him to the Colonial. I didn't know what that meant. It's like, next time that happens, please come get me. I learned very quickly that being invited to the Colonial was important.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Little do you know.
That's a thing.
But yeah, so yes, we were talking sports this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we hope you've had a good weekend.
Yeah, it is Monday, July 21st. I'm Seth, by the way.
And I'm Tammy.
And we are the 4031 family.
Yeah. And we are going to be sharing a devotion today from the Institute for Creation Research. But before we do, for those of you who are watching us from the Institute from Creation Research or who are familiar with it, we lost a great colleague Saturday night, passed away in his sleep.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. And right now, the staff is probably still in their morning devotions on campus dealing with this. And it's a huge loss to the ministry and to those who worked with him and those who knew him. And we had the blessing of knowing him for the last 17 years. You actually just sat with him last week at devotions when you were there, and Benjamin's gone on trips with him, and Dr. Johnson, just he was an amazing man, love of the Lord and love of his family and anyone who came across his path, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have known him.
Yeah, it's a great loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on that note.
Institute
for Creation Research, www.icr.org/DOP, will allow you to subscribe to the Days of Praise devotions. You'll get this in your mailbox once a quarter, like this one for the next quarter.
Yeah, you probably won't get that one.
You won't get this one.
No, you probably won't get the starfish.
You won't get the starfish. At this point, you'd probably get next quarter's.
But you'll get it in your email every day, and
you'll still have access to it.
You can cheat. Read ahead.
Some say cheat, some say read ahead. We have not read ahead except to get the verse that we're working on today, and we decided it's you today. I think I read Friday.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you going to be able to see it? Because you've got it over on the screen.
I'll make it work. Today's devotion is from John chapter 20, verses 27 and 28. And the verse reads, "Reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thus thrust it into my side. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord and my God." And this
very funny, because Thomas was talking last night
about
how
this
in class
very verse.
yesterday it was when Thomas answered, so he would just answer,
read.
"My Lord, my God." This was written by Dr. John Morris. Who knows when, but
I don't know. It's entitled "His Head, His Hands, His Feet." I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is another song.
Oi. Scroll quick. Nope.
When I Survey the Wondrous Cross.
It is.
There we go.
Okay, so we got a song series.
Perhaps no other means of execution inflicted more physical pain than Roman crucifixion. Today, as we ponder verse 3, it probably started on Saturday.
Probably.
So, as we ponder verse 3 of the precious hymn, "When I Survey the Wondrous Cross," we reflect on the facts that when Christ was crucified, a cruel crown of thorns was mashed down upon his head, and his body was held suspended in place by painful Roman spikes nailed through his hands and feet. He knew what awaited him, for a description of the dying process had been written long beforehand. That is in Psalm 22, and it is that's an amazing psalm.
You've read that to me before.
Yeah.
And I specifically say he read it to me. It wasn't something he directed to me to read. It's so powerful to hear the words of Psalm 22, not just read them.
Well, yes, but the thing that makes it just absolutely incredible is that it was written by David 1,000 years before, not before Christ, not before the Romans, not before, but it was written before crucifixion was even a thing.
Yeah.
And it is a really good description of a crucifixion, written down, again, 1,000 years before anybody thought about what crucifixion was or would be. The Romans weren't even around, obviously, so they couldn't have invented it yet.
How long is that scripture?
Psalm 22? I'll tell you in a second.
I know you will.
I think it's long. Yeah, it's 31 verses.
Okay.
I will leave this as an exercise to be completed at home, because it really is. And Jesus himself recognized, obviously, the application. If you actually read, I think what you're referring to is once we sat down and read Psalm 22 side by side with the crucifixion account in Matthew, and they are very much parallel. I mean, it's like Matthew's intent in his gospel was writing was to pronounce or to declare Christ as king, and that's the same with the Psalms. They were talking about the coming Messiah as the coming King of Israel, and so Matthew made great pains, I think, to show. Not that he invented new details or anything like that. I mean, the report in Matthew is very similar to the report in the other Gospels about the events of the crucifixion. But when
I don't see a lot in here about the crucifixion.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. I mean, they talk
all
about...
that laugh at me to scorn, they shout the lip, they shake the head, that he trusted the Lord would deliver him. They yell at him, hey, if you're really who you say you are, come down from the cross.
Poured out like water.
And his water flows out of his side, strength dried up, my tongue cleaves to my jaws. It's not necessarily the means of execution.
They cast lots for his garments.
It is the picture being painted at the crucifixion was painted 1,000 years before.
Yeah.
And it does talk about piercing my hands and feet in verse 16.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
And piercing hands and feet. Yeah,
fast.
that's not a thing in 1000 BC.
Yeah.
And people will say, well, this was obviously invented later. It was obviously written later because it can't have been that accurate. But we have copies of Psalm 22 from before.
And why couldn't it have been? I mean, and that's the thing. That they couldn't have known. But see, but God,
right?
That people like to say there's the impossible. It couldn't have happened because ... And God fills every piece of that ...
Right.
God could have done anything He wanted and did, regardless of what we think could have been possible.
Right. That's exactly right. And, it's like, well, as I said, we have examples of Psalm 22 from the Dead Sea Scrolls, for example, dated well before. Actually, that's some of that might well, no, I'm thinking the Septuagint, sorry. But we have Septuagint copies of Psalm 22, which was written, well before the 1st century AD. And so you can't claim retroactive writing. You can't claim editing because we have copies before the events. And again, the parallels are very strong in all of the Gospels. You've got different people reporting the same event are going to have different details to report.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just one of those things. And I started to say earlier, Jesus himself understood the application of Psalm 22 to his own situation on the cross, because he quoted Psalm 22 from the cross. When he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me? That's Psalm 22:1. He's saying to everybody around, this is in fulfillment of the Scriptures.
Mm-hmm. Because they would have been aware of Psalm 22?
Yeah. Yeah. The Romans wouldn't have. The Romans who were around him.
But his people.
Any Jews who were around him, when he said that, might have started going,
hey, wait a minute.
Wait, what is that about? Right? And then, I don't know, looking around going, wait, is this,
yeah.
What? Yeah. So, so it was a remarkable thing.
Well, and it's been interesting. We've been watching The Chosen, and we are, I guess we're current on it. We've just finished season 5, right? That's 5?
Yeah, I think. The Last Supper.
Which deals with the Last Supper and Passion Week. And there's so much in that. Again, you don't know what has been fictionalized to make the story more enjoyable on the screen. Like, we've been learning deeper about characters that weren't biblical accountings, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but you said who knows what's been fictionalized. Of course we know, because we have the Bible. Yeah,
But when you're watching it, you don't sit there and analyze it sentence for sentence.
Sure.
That wasn't spoken in the Bible. That's what I meant.
Sure.
Because you really get drawn into the character development. You really get drawn into the story. And there's so much of this week of that season is all about the week. And it's Christ saying, these are things I've been talking to you about. These are things that those things I mentioned before, this is happening. The things you read about, that's what this is.
If you paid attention, you would know what's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to fathom what it would have been like walking that walk with him.
Yeah, truly.
That leading up to that week.
Truly.
All right.
So anyway, Dr. Morris continues, yet he endured it all out of love for us.
See from his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love flowed mingled down. Did e'er such love and sorrow meet, or thorns compose so rich a crown? You can sing tomorrow.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Not even you. We get some perspective of his love from these verses. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. That's John 3:16. 1 John 4 says, in this was manifested the love of God toward us, because that God sent his only begotten Son into the world, that we might live through him. Herein is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us, and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Well, there's a big word. Propitiation. Which just means the payment for. That's all it means. It's the recompense, the pay up, ransom.
The balance.
The balance owed, right.
He paid for us.
Yeah. He has done it all for us. We cannot earn salvation, but we have an obligation to conform our lives to his example, even his death. Scripture informs us that we can know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death. That's Philippians 3:10. His death on the cross and his resurrection pave the way for us to follow. Wow.
And it's hard, when we watch those shows, Passion of the Christ or The Chosen, and you see the suffering he endured for us. It's hard to make that choice to say, I'm going to do what I want, and it doesn't matter what you did for me. You can't look at what he endured for us and really say, I'm gonna do what I want anyway. I know people do.
Sure.
But
No, I get what you're saying.
There's really no way to repay what he did for us on the cross, but we can at least strive to make our life worthy of what he did for us on the cross. And he did that not knowing any of us. You know, I think that's... Jillian's awake. I forgot she was home. It's really so grounding and humbling when you think about the fact that he died 2,000 years ago. I don't know names of my ancestors 2,000 years ago to recognize how close, I mean, so in other words, it was a really long time ago, and he still did that for us. Yeah. All he wants is your heart in return. You know, he wants you to live for him and to, yeah. That's all. Just everything. He gave everything.
He gave everything.
It's the least we can do.
Yeah.
Live a life glorifying to him.
That's it. Ding, 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 ding.
Just hope that it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's not always easy.
Well, it's probably never easy would be the right word, right? I mean, in this world you will have trials, he said. So.
Not if.
Not if.
You will.
Not you might. But rather you will.
Yeah. I don't even know what time it is because I can't see the clock.
It is.
Because somebody put a box in front of the clock. That would have been me. You're welcome.
I can see the clock.
I can't.
I can see past the box.
Here, I found it.
Anyway, well, it is Monday. Again, we hope you had a great weekend. We hope you have a better week.
Yeah.
If you take a moment and like the video, like the channel, follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, and then go check out all the other channels that we're on.
Including Instagram.
Instagram.
That's a new thing. And at some point, Holly's going to do some kind of campaign to try to increase our followers. So let's see what we can do before she steps in to try to go, hey, Mom, Dad, no, that didn't work. I got it.
So what we should do, what I'm sitting here thinking we could do, is get you a little keyboard. And we can, when we do these hymns, you can play them.
No.
No.
You know how much I don't like the sound of a keyboard. I'm a piano snob.
She is a snob.
I learned to play piano when I was 5, and I'm used to the sound of a piano and the feel of a piano, the tone of a piano. And as much as I love all your computer digital stuff that you can take what I play on the electric keyboard and you can make it sound like a piano, it's not the same.
It doesn't have to be the same. It's the thing, you know. Oh, I can't play a church. It's not a Steinway. I mean, that's.
I've never said that.
No, you. Well, I mean, in fairness, it's just a function of degree of difference here. To say I'm not going to play on that thing with 88 keys that sounds like a piano. I'm going to play on an actual thing that sounds like a piano. It's just a. You're on the spectrum of things.
No, you ask any pianist out there, Miss Betty, Lee, any of my pianists
I'm
out
not
there.
Saying it's not
tell
different.
Me. I mean, I've said that before. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. Keith is on my side. It's totally different. Even our drummers, I'm sure. Thomas would acknowledge the same thing between an acoustic drum kit and an electric drum kit.
Of course, but he doesn't disdain playing them to the exclusion, and you don't either. I'm not saying you do either. You play like that's not the same thing. But that's like me saying, well, I have a Rickenbacker, so I'm not going to play anything else on the bass guitar. It's just like, come on. I mean, I understand the preference. I'm not arguing you're not allowed to have a preference. I'm just saying it's a little much to and again, you don't. I'm not talking about you. You don't refuse to play. When we do stuff, you always sit at the electric keyboard and do it. So it's this.
Yeah, because it's really nice so if we ever try to do recording, I'll do it on the digital because then when I make mistakes, he can go in and fix them.
Right?
Yeah, he can line up where my timing got off, or oops, that was supposed to be a C sharp and not a C. That kind of thing. He can just do all that digitally. So
can't do that on an actual piano, though, can I?
No, you cannot.
So here, let's get you an actual piano to come in here and do a live on, and then we'll see how much you embarrass yourself.
No, there is a benefit. I acknowledge there's a benefit to a digital keyboard, an electric keyboard, because you've got the MIDI ability to go in and change my mistakes, unlike right now. But when it comes time to play...
Don't take her side, Keith.
When it comes time to playing something live and in a moment, I'd much rather a piano.
Sure, and I get that. I do understand that.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's... Thank you again.
Keith just made the point, for those of you not on Facebook, that he did at one point refuse to play an electric kit because it sounded horrible. Which I get. Again, it's like I said, it's not like you refuse to ever play anything but an actual piano. I'm not saying that. It's just you refuse to play anything but an actual piano.
It's funny because here in the room we're in is our garage at the house, but it's also his office, hence the setup. But we've also got instrument setups behind us, including an acoustic drum kit and an electric drum kit. And when we're recording, or when we're just playing around, it is nice when Thomas can play the electrics because we're usually all in our ears. We've got the headphones on, so that's a benefit. And again, for recording purposes, having it, you can adjust the levels and stuff a lot easier when it's an electric kit. And I understand that. And yeah, I own it. I own it that I'm a piano snob. You'll notice, though, that in the room behind us, there is not a real piano yet. One day we're going to find somebody who says, I love this family so much, I'd like to gift you this baby grand. And I would kick every instrument out of this room to get my baby grand. One day. One day.
I'm biting my lip because that's so disingenuous.
What?
Your whole statement there, because we have 2 pianos out there.
Yeah, in the
They're
hallway.
just not in this room. So they're in the hallway.
There's nowhere to put it in here.
I know.
And we have to get them terribly tuned.
I know.
But they're in dire need.
But you'll notice there are no pianos in here. It's like, oh, come on. There are 2 pianos in this house.
But they're out there.
But if you want to play the piano, you want to play it out there anyway. You wouldn't come in here while I was working to play the piano.
That's true.
So that's why they're out there.
It's also really out of tune. I tried that with the girls.
Yeah,
and yeah.
We got to take care of that. That's true.
We do.
So anyway.
One day.
As I was saying.
Hey, look, we filled the time.
As I was saying, please go through to the other platforms and like or follow or whatever us there. That would be a huge help on Rumble, X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of those things. The more people who like and follow the videos that we have, the more those platforms will say, hey, maybe somebody else might like this and share it for us.
And then... God gets to be heard in every corner of the crazy little digital universe.
God and piano snobbery.
You're so mean. You're so mean.
What did he say?
They aren't baby grands.
No,
Thank you.
Keith is supposed to be my friend. You need to get your own friends. Stop taking mine. Wow.
One day.
Wow.
One day.
Yeah. Okay.
No, see, that's like part of my dream house is that eventually we'd have like this big living room area or whatever, but then at the end of the hall would be like a stage and our instruments, and it would just be so much fun to just build an event hall around my concert grand.
Sent what? You've sent what? Did he send you a baby grand?
Doubtful.
I doubt it too.
All right.
Anyway, we'll figure that out. So
shared it, maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows? All right. Time for work.
Time for work. Yeah, got to go.
We hope you all have an amazing Monday. And again, to the Institute for Creation Research family and to Mrs. Sherry Johnson and your children and your grandchildren, we love you. We're praying for you.
Indeed.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, for the 4031 family today, I'm Seth.
I'm Tammy.
And don't forget, he's God.
We're not. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30.
Without a baby grand piano.
Have a great day.
Bye.